So Callum, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Welcome to our home from home, also known as the Aforza London HQ number 2.
Exactly.
We are coming live from the Waterloo Podcast Project at BrewDog Waterloo, which is a stone throw away from our new London office.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very excited to be in the studio right now with Callum Fitzpatrick, who's one of our very early employees, had a few different roles at the company. And today we're going to be talking about why we created the industry's first KPI Index.
Awesome. It's a great topic.
Indeed. But before we get going, let's talk a bit about you, your background. In context of the Aforza Podcast Project is all about telling the industry, future employees about who we are, what we do, insights, but raw insights, real insights, direct for the employees. So let's kick off. Let's tell us a bit about yourself, what you do here, and why you love working at Aforza.
Awesome. I'd just say, actually, if there's any future employees listening to this podcast, come join us. It's a great place to work. Get to do cool things like this and be in cool places like BrewDog Waterloo.
Indeed,
Fantastic.
Indeed.
So my name's Callum Fitzpatrick. I'm a sales engineer at Aforza. And really that entails demonstrating the value of the Aforza platform, the solution, to consumer goods companies, so the industry we work in. And really it's listening to the pains and the problems that are happening across the industry. There are a lot. And really helping to solve those or alleviate any of those problems with Aforza, and obviously with some of the amazing minds working at Aforza who have been in the CG industry for decades and bring some real insight to the team.
Fantastic. And you got your current role today, but you didn't start off in solution engineering.
No. I started off as a BDE, so business development executive, and really that entailed kind of reaching out to our ideal potential customers or consumer goods companies that we know could do with some help from Aforza, or even just for us to understand a bit more about the industry. And there's a lot of outbound messaging and contacting the right people, sometimes the wrong people. And then I transitioned into actually demonstrating the value of Aforza.
So now you're much more hands-on with the product.
Exactly. Getting to build and create and work out new solutions. So it's amazing. It's like playing.
What a fantastic transition, though. You mean you're talking to customers on a daily basis, you're understanding their pains, you're understanding
Definitely.
what resonates with them, and to take that into a role where you then get to show them how the solution addresses their problems is huge.
Absolutely. I'd say it's almost in any industry that you work in, going out in that kind of, we say, tip of the spear, in that business development exec role, really understanding the pains and problems of your industry, might not be consumer goods, then transitioning into a role where you become I'm not going to say I'm a product expert, but
you are
a bit more hands-on with the product and really helping companies. So I think it's an amazing career path to go through. And I'm excited for the future with Aforza. Just the company, but also the opportunities within. It's amazing. Learn so much.
Well, no, look, as humble as you are, I think everyone thinks the world of you here, and you're making impact every day. So
too kind.
Let's switch gears. So let's talk a little bit now about the industry you work in, right? Consumer goods, and the challenges that you see on a daily basis. Why is what we do important?
Well, I'd say where Aforza sits, we're in a pretty unique position, right? We're in consumer goods, which touches all of us. I mean, everything you've eaten today, probably what you're wearing, everything you can see in this studio is part of the consumer goods industry. Now, we as consumers are obviously using these products, but also at Aforza as a cloud software company, we're speaking to senior executives, to everyone from the top to the bottom of a company, understanding the pains and problems in just getting these products to the end consumer. Now, when we understand these pains and hear them, we've been asked a lot to share how we would, manage these challenges, the internal, external challenges, and how we can mitigate them with either a solution or, in this case, KPIs and how to track them.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So we know what's going on in the industry. We solve a lot of problems, but let's switch gears now to this KPI Index project that you've been working on, right?
Yeah.
So this is you do a lot of things at Aforza. You interact with a lot of customers, but you've been working on a very special project for the last probably a couple of months now, right?
Yeah.
And that's the Aforza KPI Index. Do you want to tell everyone a bit about what that is and why it's so important in the context that you just talked about?
Yeah. So I think now with costs rising across the world, across the board, everywhere, it's never been a more important time to track, review, and understand every single aspect of business performance, from sales to operational efficiency to brand awareness, you name it, any kind of KPI. And
on that, when you talk to a lot of business leaders in the industry, right, they're struggling with that, right?
Oh, definitely. It's incredibly hard to track. Even some of the basic KPIs, product performance, which is everyone in the CG industry naturally wants to look at. That can be incredibly difficult to see, especially in real time. That's near on impossible.
And are you finding it's not just that they don't know how to track it, it's they don't know what to track? Because we talked about that earlier in the day, right? There's a little bit about, I don't know what I don't know.
Exactly. It's a combination of both, I'd say. It's really, a lot of people know how to track it, but they don't have the tools to track it.
Yep. And
then also when you do have the tools to track it, you then know that you can start tracking more KPIs. Yep. So it's kind of a snowball effect of using the right tools and tracking the right internal KPIs that unlock different areas of performance within the business.
So we'll share the KPI index with the audience. We'll make it available to everyone that's watching this podcast. But let's just boil it down in a couple of sentences. What is the KPI index? I've seen it. It's a book. It's got hundreds of pages listing all the KPIs. But what is it? If you had to kind of sell it to somebody, what is the KPI index? What have you built here?
I don't think I'd want to sell it to anyone. It's available. It's free online. It's a booklet of what we think are key KPIs in the consumer goods industry that every business should have access to, should know how to track. And what we've done is from the conversations we have every day with these companies, from the employees within Aforza who have been in the CG industry and know exactly what needs to be tracked, we've kind of collated all of this information together, condensed it into this booklet, and really it's essentially a booklet of formulas and methods of how you track these individual areas of the business. And it could be, planning, visiting, selling, delivering, even down to compliance now, which is becoming more and more relevant with HFSS coming in for anyone listening who doesn't know, that's the high fat, salt and sugar kind of restrictions that are going to be coming.
People need to track that, right? And they're not
definitely. And you can get in serious trouble if you're not stopping your products being sold or positioned in the right place. So,
and I think one of the things that's really cool, and think about your role in solution engineering is this isn't just a booklet of fluff, right? This isn't just a bunch of numbers and KPIs. Everything you've put in that exists in the Aforza application, and you see the dashboards, you see the reports. So this is the sort of stuff where someone can read, they can say, yeah, I like that, I want to take that forward, and they can actually implement it.
Exactly, and that's why it took a couple of months to do, because we wanted to make sure that when we release this KPI booklet to everyone, which is now available, it's on the Aforza website, right? We wanted to make sure that the Aforza solution would be ready to help you track these KPIs out of the box. I'm happy to say it is, which has been the fun part of the kind of sales engineering role, is building out exactly how you track these formulas, the right dashboards and reports that you can see. So perhaps as a sales leader or someone who's not too involved with technology, when using Aforza, they can just see really quickly the KPI performance. And I think that's incredibly valuable for the CG industry.
Awesome. So
I hope so.
No. Let's just. This has been live now for a good few weeks, and the reception we've had from the industry is fantastic. A lot of excitement about it across the board. So, what's next? We've got a pretty killer foundation here, right? In terms of, like you said, plan, visit, sell, deliver, compliance, all the KPIs. But what's next? Is this thing going to keep evolving because businesses don't change, right?
Bulk it up, increase more KPIs. More formulas, more definitions, more personas as well, as we expand into different areas. I mean, who knows, 20 years, there might be a CG industry on the moon, and there'll be specific KPIs for that. So I think it's never going to stop. It's going to constantly evolve and grow. As we grow at Aforza, as the CG industry changes, as there's new pressures, there's going to be different KPIs. So we're just going to keep adding and adding and adding. It's fantastic. It's really cool, actually. It's like
absolutely
planted the seed now, and it's going to grow into.
And kudos to you, right? It's an amazing.
Well, and everyone else involved, Andy Pryke, Charles Cook, Marco Van Gent, the other sales engineers and industry consultants who have really put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into getting this out to everyone and making it available on the platform. And of course, for yourself, Andy.
There we go. Right. So, one last question. Let's close this out. It's been great having you. Really enjoyed the conversation. But if you had to give one piece of advice to a business leader, a sales leader, an IT leader of how to get the best out of the KPI index, what's the next step to take? What would that be?
Reach out to us. We love speaking to everyone in the CG industry. So I'd say have a look at the KPI Index. It's online on the Aforza.com website. Download it, have a look through, and if there's any areas that you want to explore a bit more, we'd be more than happy to schedule a call and talk through it, talk through different areas, and really show, perhaps in real time, the power of the Aforza application and how you can track those KPIs and really align it to your business. Because, I mean, we serve the CG industry, but I'd say every single company we work with is different. They have their different nuances. But at the same time, everyone's got really similar KPIs. And I think we have the platform to track every kind of KPI you need, really.
Right on. No, thank you. Actually, I said that was the last question, but one more. If anyone's looking at a career at Aforza, what's your advice? What's your advice to them?
Come join. Definitely. I think we're in a special position right now. It's really cool. We've got a really strong team, an amazing ethos. Everyone helps everyone. And the exposure you get to some of these conversations, especially across the CG industry, is incredible to hear what's going on in the background. And to then have a direct help with that, to ultimately, stop the negative effects coming down to the end consumers is really awesome. I love it. So to anyone out there who wants to join Aforza, get in touch. Come meet us. We're in Waterloo Station.
Yeah, right here. Come for a beer.
Come for a beer and BrewDog, even better.
Good stuff. Well, Callum, it's been an absolute pleasure. The very first of the Aforza BrewDog Waterloo podcast projects. And thanks for your time.
Hopefully many more.
Yeah, indeed. And what's, the call to action, go to the Aforza website, get the KPI Index, got any questions, reach out. Callum will be happy to help.
Exactly. And also another, to our partners at BrewDog, come down to the BrewDog Waterloo bar. It's really incredible. I think there's a slide just outside here as well.
And what is it? It's early in the morning and the place is already buzzing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just beer, it's coffee, just everything.
There's an ice cream van upstairs as well. It's right on our doorstep.
Well, Callum, thanks again. And awesome. Back to work.
Back to work. Yeah, exactly. Never stop. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.